What's going on, readers? Miss Koima here for your fantastic, funky, fresh Friday Read Aloud. Now, readers, I have a treat for you on this fantastic Friday. I have a very special Read Aloud to you, but first I need you to guess something. So, do you all know who this person is in this photo here? Go ahead and say it to yourself, whisper it, yell it, whatever. All right. All right. So, this person, if you said that this person is our vice president, Miss Kamala Harris, then you are correct. This is our vice president, Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. Now, today's Read Aloud has something to do with her. Now, before I tell you about what book we're reading, I need to tell you build some background information about who this person is, right? You know who they are. But did you know that Kamala has a younger sister named Maya? And so Maya and her were really close growing up when they were growing up in Oakland, California. They grew up with their mom. And Maya actually had a child of her own, and her name is Mina. So this is Mina. And Mina, she is very close with her aunt Kamala and her mom Maya. And Mina here is a children's author. So she's written a couple of books for children just like you. And today, I wanted to share with you a story that Mina Harris wrote about her mom and her aunt, Kamala. And it's called Kamala and Maya's Big Idea. And she's actually going to read it to us. Okay, so I don't want to give too much away, but readers, I want you to focus on two things as we read this story. So I want you to pay close attention to number one, character traits. As we get to know Maya and Kamala, I want you to study them closely, their actions, their words, the things that they do, how they respond to problems, and identify character traits. But also, don't forget to support those character traits with text evidence. Number two, the second thing I want you to look for is we've been studying this week about how characters change. And so there's going to be a certain character in here who changes throughout the story. And so I want you to pay close attention to the character of the landlord. And I want you to think, how does he change from the beginning of the story to the end? And what event makes him change? Okay, so character traits and how and why characters change. So those are the two things I want you to focus on today. All right, so you guys ready to join Mina for story time? All right, she's going to read to us Kamala and Maya's Big Idea. And as you're watching, I want you to think about character traits and how characters change from the beginning to the end of the story and what makes them change. All right, Mina, here we go.
Hi, friends. My name is Mina Harris, and I am the author of Kamala and Maya's Big Idea. Thank you so much for the opportunity to read my brand new children's book to you. It is so special to me, and it's amazing to put it into the world and get to read it to audiences like you. So thank you. All right, should we get started? Kamala and Maya's Big Idea by Mina Harris, illustrated by Ana Ramirez Gonzalez. All right. You know what should be out there? Kamala asked her sister Maya. Us? Said Maya. A slide, said Kamala. And a swing, Maya added. A playground, they shouted together. Kamala and Maya had an idea. It was a very good idea and a very big idea. They were going to need help. Wouldn't it be great if there was a playground in the courtyard, Maya said. That does sound nice, Mommy agreed. How can we make that happen? Kamala asked. Well, I suppose the first step would be to ask the landlord, the person who owns the building. So Kamala and Maya wrote a letter, and Maya drew a picture, and they went out to see the landlord to discuss their idea. The landlord thought about it for less than a second. I don't think so, no. That was not the answer they wanted, but they weren't ready to give up. That night, the sisters tried to think of ways to turn a no into a yes. They asked the other kids in the building if they wanted a playground in the courtyard. Did they? Of course they did. And they had ideas too. Let's have a teeter-totter, and a basketball hoop and flowers. So Kamala wrote a longer letter and they went to see the landlord together. All right, let's read this letter, shall we? Dear landlord, right now the courtyard of our building is empty and no one uses it. If there were swings, kids could fly high. If there was a sandbox, kids could build. If there was a slide, kids could go so far, so fast. Can you build it, please? The landlord thought about it for less than 5 seconds. A project this big is expensive. We don't have money for that. Do your parents know you're here? This was not the answer they wanted, but Kamala was not ready to give up. If we ask our parents and do it all ourselves, can we fix up the courtyard? The landlord thought about that for a whole 10 seconds. Finally, he shrugged. If you can do it yourselves, sure. All right, we're getting somewhere. That wasn't exactly the answer they wanted, but it was a start. The kids all spoke to their parents about their ideas for the courtyard. They hung up posters and knocked on neighbors' doors. But they got the same answer from everyone. I'm sorry. Wow, that is a big job. Wish I could help. Which they knew meant no, no, no. But then Mr. Green stopped to talk. I work construction. I could maybe get some scrap lumber and some sand for a sandbox. Oh, really? Kamala said. Yes, exclaimed Maya. Okay, I'll try. It wasn't a yes, but right now, maybe was the sweetest word they had ever heard. Maybe gave them hope. The next weekend, maybe turned into yes. The kids all helped measure, and Mr. Green cut the boards. Then they sanded and hammered and sanded some more, and then came the actual sand. They were all thanking Mr. Green when Ms. Lopez stopped to talk. I work at a garage. Maybe they have an extra tire for a teeter-totter. Another maybe. In the weeks that followed, lots of I don't knows turned into maybes and then yeses. No one could do everything, but everyone could do something. Kamala and Maya wanted everyone to celebrate the new playground, so they made another big poster inviting their neighbors to a potluck party. There were hot dogs and hummus, spicy chicken and potato salad, strawberries and brownies and lemonade. Mrs. Flores set up a sprinkler for the kids to run through, and Mr. Green brought the music. Kamala admired the new playground, but she noticed there was still one thing missing. What could that be? No one knew how to make a slide, but Ms. Flores knew where they might buy one. I teach at Emerson Elementary, and they're redoing their playground. Maybe we could buy the old slide? This was a different kind of maybe. How can we afford that maybe? But now everyone was trying to find a way to turn that maybe into a yes. These brownies are delicious. Maybe we could have a bake sale? We can all bring toys and cookies and have a sidewalk sale. Great idea. No one could do everything, but everyone could contribute something. When the slide arrived at last, Maya and Kamala got the first ride. The landlord was impressed. I want to shake your hands, girls, he said. You did a good job. You all did a good job. Kamala and Maya had an idea. It was a very good idea and a very big idea. And with a lot of help, they made it happen. Hooray for Kamala and Maya! Hooray for the persisters! What's next, Kamala? Kamala, looking up, said, I'm wondering what the view is like from the roof. And that's my book. So at the end, I have a bunch of pictures that are...
All right. So that was Kamala and Maya's. Oh, I gotta wait for this thing to get out of my face. Kamala and Maya's big idea. Now, I hope you're paying close attention to character traits and how the landlord changed from the beginning of the story to the end. Now, readers, today for your assessment, you're going to be answering some questions about character change and character traits in today's assessment. So let's go over the questions. And remember, you can always use this video, watch this video as many times as you want to listen to the story or have me read the questions to you. So the first question is, what is your name? So type your name, that's 1 point. Question number 2, this is about character traits. Question number 2 is, what character traits can you use to describe Maya and Kamala? Now use text evidence to support your thinking, right? Now, question number 3. So you're going to put your answer there for question number 2. Question number 3. How did the landlord, so the person who runs the building, how did the landlord change from the beginning of the story to the end of the story? So use this sentence frame. In the beginning, he was, almost sneeze, but in the end, he was. Okay, so tell me, how did he change? In the beginning of the story, what kind of character trait was he? And in the end, what type of person was he? Now, question 4 is super important. This is where it's going to push your brain for that 4th grade level. We've been talking about how characters change or why. So in question number 4, you're going to think about how he changed, how the landlord changed. In question number 4, it says, what part of the story made the landlord change his mind about the playground that Maya and Kamala wanted to build? Okay, so look at these 4. There's only one answer. So here are the 4 events, and you have to think, did this make the landlord change his mind? 1, was it when Maya drew a picture for the landlord? 2, was the event when Kamala wrote a longer letter to the landlord? And and 3, did this event make the landlord change? Was it when Mr. Green and Miss Lopez offered to help? Or was it the 4th option, when the landlord saw how the kids asked the adults in the building for help in getting sand, the tires, and the slide for the playground? So which of these events here made the landlord change? Which one of these 4 events supported the change that you wrote about in question number 3? All right, so make sure you answer all 4 of those questions and submit your answers. Now, 4th grade, we've been doing this work all week. So make sure you do your very best work, and I can't wait to see your responses. And remember, you can always use this video to rewatch, go back to the text, re-listen to the questions again. And good luck, and I can't wait to see your answers.